Hey everybody, it's me, Mark Wiggins again. The Mark Wiggins live show up here in Baltimore, of all places, because you know I'm from Virginia. So anyway, what we have was another business on with us today from Credit Hero, Mr. Francois.
Yes.
I forgot your first name, but it's Ronny?
Yes.
Ronny Francois, because that's hard to say. I was so focused on my last name.
Yes.
Ronny, don't do bios, so tell everybody who you are and what you're into.
Again, my name is Ronny Francois. I'm also known as the Credit Hero, and I'm also the Executive Director of Francois Solution LLC. And we basically help people repair their credit, build their credit. We also educate them on credit and financial literacy.
Okay, well, tell me about your journey to get into this industry, because there's a lot of people who have started off, a lot of different companies who do this out here. What did you do to get where you are?
Well, I kind of got into it by accident, because at one time my credit was bad. It was so bad I used to hope somebody would steal my identity, but we all know when your credit is bad, nobody's gonna steal. If they steal, they just rehearse and just practice. And then after many years of trials and errors trying to fix it on my own, I was like, you know what, now I got the tools and the knowledge, then what can I do to help somebody else? And I'm the type of person, like, if I see a problem, because every problem has a solution, and many of us, we have these wishful solutions, but then if you actually think about it, you say, what? Where I'm at right now, what can I do to change the situation? And I'm like, and I realized that the school system was educating on people on credit and financial literacy. Then that's when I started writing books. Then I started doing speaking events from the East Coast to the West Coast. Then I just started, anywhere there was opportunity for me to speak about credit and financial literacy, I was there. But then again, I didn't stop there. I was working with the recs and parks. I was working with the schools, just making a positive impact.
Wow, that's amazing. So now you're based out of Baltimore?
Yes.
Based out of Baltimore, but you're all over the place.
Yes.
So what are you doing now to help educate and get people involved and engaged in fixing their credit or improving their credit?
Yeah, so there's probably like over 20 million people that do what I do, but the biggest difference is they're going to help you fix your credit. They're going to fix it, but then I give you the tools and the knowledge how to maintain it. So that's the difference. You know, once I do help you fix your credit, or I give you the tools you do on your own, I'm going to say, hey, you know, here's the book to read to maintain it. These are the tools that you can do that way you don't make the same mistake twice. And the other thing too, so if I'm giving you the tools, so once you get the tools, then you can share it. Because of course I love being a credit hero, but just imagine like multiple houses have credit heroes in the community, in the city, and the state, then we all could be credit heroes. So that's the thing, just take that knowledge, share it with you share it with somebody else, that we all get the same information.
Yeah, absolutely. So talk about an example of like someone that you helped really get it together. I need that turnaround story. They had a credit of 4, and you flipped it over to 750, 800, something like that.
Well, one of the best one I can give is a friend of mine. Her name is Sherry. She read one of my books. It's called "Break the Cycle." You don't have to live with bad credit. Because that was one of my first books. You actually have to break the cycle, break the generational curse. And she read the book. Just from reading the book, within 6 months, she was able to position herself to get in her first house. She didn't have to get my service. I didn't have to help with nothing. Just from reading the book, she was able to position herself to get her house within 6 months.
Well, let me pause and just simply say this. You may be the first person I've heard talk about the credit repair industry that actually has their own book, right? Not using some, no knock. Just when you're talking about the differentiation between what you're doing and what someone else is doing, why should I deal with you? You said you had a tool that you can walk away with whether you use me the right way or not. Yeah. Here's this person took your words in your book, Entrepreneurs, and walked off with it and did the thing. And if she needed to get to you, she could have gotten to you.
Yes.
Right? And the book lives on, but you know what I'm saying, that's huge. What made you write the book?
Because I realized the school system wasn't doing it. Because in the school system, we learned about the Pythagorean theorem, photosynthesis, we learned about Mars, we dissect the frog. And if you had a home ec, some of you might not be old enough, you actually bake cookies, you made pies, but nothing about credit, nothing about financial literacy. And then instead of doing like some other people do, you blame everything on the white man. I'm like, I'm not going to blame everything on the white man. I'm going to find a solution because the white man reading the same book that I can read, so how come I can't read it, understand the information, digest and regurgitate it past somebody else?
Right.
And that's what I did.
That's powerful. I love the fact that you are talking about accountability.
Yeah.
We want to blame white man for everything. He wasn't there when you made that purchase for them Jordans and put on credit.
Exactly.
That your card is at 72%. He wasn't there for that. That was you. That was something you did.
Exactly.
But what we're really talking about is how do we change that cycle? How do we change our mentality to learn how to actually leverage our credit?
Yes.
Like we have some other people who are going to come on tonight and talk about leveraging that piece to grow your empire, because that's what they also do. We also know what the white men do. They do that.
Yes.
They learn to leverage, and we need to be better at learning to leverage what we have. So I appreciate you in that space.
Yeah, I do agree with you because sometimes you'll come across people, they'll be like, well, I don't need credit because I can buy everything with cash. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you want to buy your niece and nephew kid a 2012 Infiniti G37 for like $12,000, you can go to the bank, take that out. But if you got good to great credit, you can go to the bank, borrow that money, pay it back over time with little no interest, and then you still got that money in the bank. So basically, it just gives you an option. Like, for example, everybody in this room like eating pizza. Everybody don't like pepperoni. Somebody might want pineapple. Somebody want anchovies. Somebody might want, some extra bananas. And that's what it does. It gives you options, it gives you choices. And everybody like options and choices. And that's the most important thing people don't realize. That's what credit does. It gives you options, it gives you choices.
Right. As we wrap down, Mr. Francois, give me the starting point that someone out here is watching is, you know what, I'm going to take the step. I'm going to get off the bench and I'm going to start to work on my credit. What's the number one thing they need to do first?
The number one thing is pulling your credit, because 8 out of 10 people don't even know what's on the credit report. So you have to pull, you have to look at it. Of course, you know it's bad. Just ignoring for 7 years is not the solution. You have to look at it. That was the very first step.
The first step?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Francois, where can people find you and how can we get at you?
You can find me Mr. Ronny_Credit Hero. We can go to my website, RonnyFrancois.com. If all that fails, you figure all that, I'm Googleable, Ronny Francois, the Credit Hero.
There it is, and you got it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right.